All right, welcome in to special bonus episode of the Softlock Cafe. I think we're gonna call this like brunch or some shit because you guys are getting it on a weekend. Um, so a little didn't really plan on being here. We had a guest episode this week. Hope you guys enjoyed. But the duality of the show was like we need our guests to A, be informed on all this depressing shit that we want to talk about, and then B, with us about all this depressing shit. And so I was like, you know what? What if, imagine a world, we just took the week off. We had lighthearted, fun conversations with our friend, and everything was just nice and fine and dandy. And then, fucking, oh my God, all this shit happened. The kicking off for why we felt we had to do an episode like this was the lynching of Trey Reed down in Mississippi. It felt like literally one of the whole things about this is that people are being silent about it. And so like by being complacent and being silent about it, we just felt like that's not something that we could do. But it felt inappropriate to talk about it during the main episode. And so we were like, hey, we need to talk about this. And then we were like, well, I guess while we're at it, we can talk about all of the other normal depressing shit that we would talk about. So hopefully, like I said, we I don't really know how long this is going to go. Where I hope it'll like maybe like 30, 40 minutes, somewhere around there. But we don't have like a set time on this. And so this is just going to be all sad, depressing, political shit going on in our country right now. And so if that's not your cup of tea, you know, do what you got to do. Keep yourself
You're
safe.
not watching this
Tag out.
podcast if that's
Yeah.
not your cup of tea.
I was like, we'll see you. We'll see you on the next main up. But if you are informed or not informed, if you do give a shit about what we have to say on the things going on, then welcome. But yeah. So to kick it off, over the weekend, a man was found hung on a Mississippi campus.
Trey Reed.
Trey Reed, and the police department ruled that there was like no foul play involved, and that it was probably just a suicide. A black man hung himself from a tree in Mississippi, and there's no foul play.
Emmett Till was a
so,
suicide too, obviously.
Yeah, it's like it's so fucking. I hate all of this shit because like black men have never hung themselves from trees in the South. Not in 1886, not in fucking 1964, and now not in fucking 2025. That just does not happen. This is very obviously a hate crime, and we're trying to cover it up in our Lord's year of 2025. Like, how the fuck can shit like this continue to happen? There have been rumors circulating that he had broken bones. It was unsubstantiated. The coroner said like, hey, that's not a thing. So Colin Kaepernick, famous activist for just the betterment
Civil
of how we
rights.
treat civil rights, how we treat people in this country, is willing to pay for a second like autopsy because he's like, hey, spoilers, I don't fucking believe you because like literally nothing about this adds up as to like why this would be a thing that's happening. And so I don't know, like it's just really fucked up. And like it kind of happened in like it was the weekend after the Charlie Kirk shit. And so a lot of people are like, oh well, it just got lost in the news cycle. But this is something that we should be pissed about. Like an actual just like innocent fucking guy getting murdered for being black is insane. And then people want to fucking go and like cry wolf about the white guy who just fucking spouted hate all the time getting blipped. And it's just like, I don't know. It's fucking the dissonance on like our selective outrage of what we choose to be mad about in this country is really fucked. And this is a story that more people should care about, and more people should be talking about it. And we deserve answers, and his family deserves justice. And we need to find whoever fucking did the shit.
Yeah, it really shows like the degradation of our society that we go from like being able to make progress in that area to like such a quick backpedaling of just the ability for like people to be normal essentially. Like it just feels like it's harder and harder for a person to have a normal outlook on life because like you either live in an area that just has the most fucked up history and like that history is still affecting those people today, like Mississippi, or you live in an area where you have like California, like you live somewhere where you have like a lot of that shit but you still can't affect anything and all this is still happening. Like it feels really shitty that this is like the backpedaling of our society almost, it feels like.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a ton more to add other than this is incredibly fucked, and we will keep you guys updated as more details come out because this is a story worthy of your attention.
Yeah, definitely. If there's anything that I have learned throughout my life is that like not talking about this shit is way worse than talking about it and somebody doesn't like what we say, I don't really give a fuck, you could try, you could try to come after me, but I don't really give a fuck. I say what I say, fuck them. I
Speaking of
stand on
saying
business.
what you have to say, and people coming after you, oh my fucking god, the fucking the right are they're little baby fucking children. The fucking cancel culture fucking coming after me for being woke. Fucking dark humor motherfuckers when the joke is about killing Charlie Kirk and not laughing at minorities. Fucking all of a sudden want you to get fired from your fucking job. And they're just like coming after people and like I don't like I can't like I can't even put it in words how fucking dumb this is. Like one, we've always known that the like MAGA and the right, they're baseless and they don't stand for anything. They just want to be right regardless of how wrong they are. Like they don't have any consistent morals. It is just whatever fits their narrative at the time. Um and so like suddenly the bastions of free speech are real upset that we're free speeching against something that they like.
Yeah, it feels like Republicans and MAGA only exist to retaliate against some perceived evil or some perceived slight. Like, there always has to be an enemy for them to go against, or they will fail. And I feel like a party or anything, like a country, a party, a person that has to always have an enemy. Like think about this on like just a minutia level. Like me and you, right? Like say I was a person who would constantly, look to start drama or, stir up bullshit, and I'm just constantly living within that, then you wouldn't want to be friends with that fucking person. You know what I mean? It's normal people are looking at this Republican Party and what they're doing and the constant just retaliation and punishment for the fact that Joe Biden beat Donald Trump in 2020. Like, it went from punishing Dems and for electing Obama to punishing Dems for electing Joe Biden to punishing Dems because Charlie Kirk died and like we didn't sufficiently grieve. Like, it's crazy because, like, literally, the shit that Jimmy Kimmel said was like the most milquetoast shit. He literally
Correct.
said like MAGA was just trying to paint this kid as anything but MAGA, which is not saying the kid's MAGA. It's just the truth of what they were doing. They were desperately trying to paint this guy as trans, as a furry, as like all this other shit, and it turns out this kid is not that. Like nothing he said is false there, and then beyond that, he's talking about how like the hateful rhetoric that Charlie Kirk, spoke should not be used as role models. Like they have this Charlie Kirk Day of Remembrance bullshit now on his birthday, October 14th. Like I got a scheduled tweet that says fuck Charlie Kirk for that day specifically already up. I swear to
Let's
God,
go.
the second I heard that they had that, I scheduled the fucking tweet. What a cringe thing to do. But yeah, Jimmy's off the air, not for long. I mean, obviously.
Right, he's gonna get a new show somewhere else probably. Yeah, I don't. It's just like it's just fucking just gross outreach of like censorship from the Trump administration as we like
Shout out
continue
Brendan
barreling
Carr.
as we continue barreling towards fascism, which is also crazy because like Disney literally won like 3 Emmys for a show talking about resisting fascism, and then immediately like 2 days later bent the fucking knee to Donald Trump and was like, all right, bye Jimmy, I guess, which is just insane tonal dissonance, but also like it just shows the weakness of the Trump administration because if you have to go out and use censorship because you don't like what people are saying about you, that just shows how fucking like weak and fragile you are because you know that if people are just saying what you're doing and that gets out and it negatively impacts you, it just shows that what you're doing is fucking dumb and fucking stupid and you need to shut the fuck up. And so like the fact that they have to resort to censorship is just so fucking pathetic.
Yeah, it was initially like my initial reaction was like Lamau fuck Kimmel, but then it's
Correct.
like
It's like I don't love Jimmy Kimmel or anything, but it is representative of a larger issue.
yeah, I think with the Kimmel thing, it is the FCC essentially trying to bully, but I think the funniest thing that all of this has shown us is that Disney really did never get Star Wars. Even from the beginning, they just never understood what IP they had and what it was doing and what it meant and what the message of that IP was. Like, it has never been more clear that Disney just didn't get that shit and doesn't get that shit, which is so funny to me at
Yeah.
least. But I mean, apparently beyond just the Kimmel shit, we've got like if you're a Pentagon reporter or like I don't know if this goes beyond just the Pentagon. The words that I saw used were Pentagon reporters. You have to have approved messaging now to send message. This is like literally what China does. We are
Yeah.
becoming like China, Russia. We are becoming so authoritarian that this message, every message that comes out needs to be state sponsored. If it's not a state sponsored message, they'll disappear you like they did Jack Ma in 2017 when he fucking spoke out against Xi Jinping. He went from flying out of China like 100 times in 6 months to literally never leaving the country for the next 4 or 5 years. Like it is, it like that's what's gonna happen. Like that's just what's happening. Like look at China. That is where we will be by the end of the Trump term. Like we are on an accelerated path to true authoritarianism. It is equal parts scary and also revolutionizing. You know, there's a reason that all this shit happens. Like people are afraid to talk about why this happened. They want to be like, oh, this person is radicalized by this violent leftist rhetoric. Like nah, maybe this person was radicalized by the fact that like we don't touch fucking grass as a society anymore. We just don't touch grass. And maybe if more motherfuckers would touch grass, they would look around at their fellow person and realize that like 90% of this Trump admin MAGA shit is like delusional bullshit that they've created in their head, but like this fear and this ignorance that permeates within this party is so overwhelming that I can't reasonably see how any person that's been in the cult this long gets out at this point. Like they are permanently ruined, I think, at this point. There is no reaching out an olive branch. There's no meeting these people on the in the middle. Like if we meet these far right people in the middle, we're going to the right. You know what I mean? Cuz think about a graph, right? This is the middle of the graph. These are both sides. Right is here. Left is fucking here. And if we meet them in the middle, we're coming here. The middle is here. We're here. You know? Like, the libs are just fucking left of that. And it is blowing my mind just watching this in real time and then watching all the Dem senators be like, this is bad. Like, fucking do something! Fuck!
Yeah. Again, no notes.
You're not allowed to criticize Trump. You're not allowed to fucking show your penis on social media anymore. What fucking is legal? What is legal? Oh my god. And then, like, the funny thing is this is literally the shit they were doing in 2016 when they were calling the libs snowflakes, dude. They were like, the libs would literally go like, it's not free speech isn't free speech if it's hate speech, and they're literally doing that, what they called the libs snowflakes for. So it's like, was it snowflake shit? Or were you just being a baby bag bitch because you didn't agree? In either situation, you're not coming out the winner here, bro. Like, there's no victory for these people. It's just more delusion and more hatred. Fuck it, I'll say it. You know what? It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen again, chat. It's gonna fucking happen again because of this shit they're doing. I believe that truly in my heart. It's gonna happen again. But I don't give a if it is leftist, if it is alright, but it's gonna happen again. They're ramping it up too much. This bloodlust is reaching a feverish point at this point, and like it's gonna happen again. I'm sorry, it just is, and I'm not afraid to say it. Cancel me.
One of the crazier things that came out of that was fucking Tyler Robinson's grandma fucking hopping on and being like, "Hey, listen, my grandson may have killed Charlie Kirk, but he was not a fucking leftist. Fucking get your shit straight."
This family is God-fearing MAGA. It's like, shout out grandma for really setting that narrative straight, but. Just to be clear, like that, it doesn't. We're not saying that that's what that means that Tyler Robinson is MAGA. Obviously, like my dad is super MAGA, and I am
correct.
Believe of the liberal beliefs.
It's hard to sort through all the bullshit that's just coming out, but I believe the most
so much
consistent narrative I see is that he was a groiper and like a Nick Fuentes guy, and so like he's even further right than regular Magans.
Yeah, it's either he's a groiper or he is like just nothing, essentially, is what I'm seeing. Like, because like the idea that this kid is left wing, I just refuse to believe that when I see credible sources saying things like his Steam profile name was Donald Trump. Like, writing "if you read this, you're gay" it's just not. It's not a standard lib thing to do. Sorry, my cat decided to fucking fall into my disher, my sink.
The disher.
Yeah, but what was I saying? You got it right. You remember?
Yeah, he's not doing or like the writing. If you read this, you're gay isn't like lib shit.
Yeah, it's just like everything I'm seeing is like they like. To be clear, I don't really give a fuck if this guy's lib or not. It doesn't matter. The point is like these people like you. If you actually want to know why this happened, You can't, like, it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. Because I feel like the political ideation is not the part here that matters. Like, he was genuinely trying to fucking troll. This is what it looks like and feels like to me. Like, this kid is a troll, and he was trying to troll, and he's like, lol, I can't believe that I got fucking a guy named Cox to read, if you read this, you're gay on live TV. You know? It's like, this kid got basically everything he wanted out of this. There's no, I don't see, like if this guy's trying to silence him, it doesn't make sense, because anybody on the left, anybody on the left, doesn't matter if you're the most insane fucking lib, knows that dime piecing Charlie Kirk doesn't fucking stop any of the rhetoric that they're doing. Like, it doesn't matter how insane of a lib you are.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was also like one of the things that I had. It's like, if we are going to cross the line of political violence, which, like, fucking is up for debate, although I will say no one ever peacefully ends authoritarianism. That, like, but it's still like a line that you should feel bad about crossing. But if we're gonna cross it, let's cross it for someone who's gonna move the needle and not fucking Charlie Kirk.
It is, it's just abundantly clear that while social media, I've said this to Yegog actually, while social media has essentially radicalized the right, it has, like, pussified the left, which I know is Republican rhetoric, but, like, it's kind of true. Like, the left is just a bunch of rabid pussies, which is another reason why I don't think that this kid was left. Because I just don't think that a leftist is capable of doing some shit like that at this time. Genuinely. But either way, it is what it is. Fucking rest in piss. Fucking fuck Charlie Kirk every day of my life. Racist, transphobic, xenophobic, sexist, had a black best friend in Candace Owens, which doesn't make any sense, like, but
Yeah, apparently, like, everyone, like, was the fallout from her video was like, yo, were they fucking?
but I don't know.
She
I
gave, like,
honestly,
a
at
more
least he had one friend. It seems like he had zero other friends than Candace Owens, based on, like, all I'm saying, because everybody immediately jumped to, like, using his death as a platform to call for bloodshed, but she was like, I miss my friend. She was just, like, posting memories of them and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. It blows my mind, but either way, I think like the Charlie Kirk shit, the censorship shit is an acceleration of what was already going to happen. Anybody who read Project 2025 knows that, like, this is essentially in the playbook. They just jumped ahead a couple months because they were able to as a result of the shit that just happened. So I'll see you guys at the, in Project 2026 when they're full mask off. I don't know.
Yeah. I was like, 'cause, yeah, like, they fucking subpoenaed the CEOs of Twitch, Discord, Reddit, and Steam because of, like, the radicalization of things. Leaving out Twitter, famously,
and Facebook.
Yeah, not very, very not politically active social media sites that skew in one direction. Crazy that those got left off.
Yeah, the only thing that could have been funnier is if they told Blue Sky to come. That would have been even funnier.
Like, we only want Blue Sky. Get your ass in here.
Like, the 7 people that use that app still.
I really wanted Blue Sky to succeed. It would have been so cool.
Yeah, unfortunately, I just think the division that is sowed within Twitter is too addicting for most people. And Blue Sky had too much, like, harmony, and people don't want harmony anymore. We're outside of that window in our lives where harmony exists. Now, that may come back in our lifetime, it may not, but I doubt that we'll have harmony again in our lifetimes, which is unbelievable because it feels like we were born into chaos. We will live through chaos that grows evermore until we die in chaos. I just don't ever see a world that isn't fucked up and, like, just, like, every version is, like, the worst version it could be. You know what I mean? Like, Taylor's version is bad every time.
Well, I feel like part of the reason a lot of people wanted to migrate off of Twitter is that it felt a little too harmonious for the right. And don't get me wrong, I think an echo chamber on either side is bad. You should at least hear what the other side is saying. But yeah, I don't fucking
Not all day, every day. Like, getting conflicting viewpoints every second that you're online looking or talking to anything.
Yeah.
It just degrades your brain more than anything because your dopamine centers are already being fucked. And, like, that is the easiest way to get dopamine, is to feel like you owned somebody, whether you own the libs or you own the right or you fucking have an opinion that you expressed personally that you feel is right. Like, everybody has to say something. Everybody needs to be a part of it because we live in a society that values FOMO so much. Like FOMO, I feel like has become such a big issue for me even in my life. Like missing out on, a live stream event or missing out on something that happens, in my real life or digitally. Like there's such a greater FOMO I have now than I used to have, I feel like. Do you see that ever or notice that within your own life?
Um, I have autism, so I don't have a ton of FOMO, honestly.
Damn.
But yeah.
All right. Well, fucking chat. Y'all relate at least. Somebody has to
Yeah,
relate to
I was
me.
like, I do feel I do
Please.
see that as a pretty broad sentiment. A lot of people, because that's like one of the, I feel like the rise in social media is like a relate to that, because like we're always like constantly performing, putting everything out for everyone, and so like if you don't have something that you're able to output, it makes people feel bad, and they get FOMO from that. But then also just constantly seeing people doing these cool things also builds that sense of FOMO. Like, damn, if everyone's out doing this fucking cool shit, like why am I not? And so like it makes you feel inadequate just by virtue of not being
And it's
able
like
to do
it's
that shit.
fake half the time too, right? Because like it's all manufactured for either rage or views or like etc. But like the media literacy of this country is so fucked that that's not really something you can recognize anymore. Even like I feel like most people don't understand the grift anymore. They don't get it.
Mm.
But I don't know, man. I think at the end of the day, the only solution that we can really affect is the solution of like getting rid of populism through socialism, democratic socialism, like Zoran Mamdani, AOC, Bernie Sanders. Like we need to there needs to be like essentially like an 8-year plan to make AOC the leader of the Democratic Party because Chuck Schumer falls and Hakeem Jeffrey falls way short of what the Democratic Party needs right now. Like the Democratic Party at this point just needs to dissolve, and we need to realign entirely as leftists into like something that works for people rather than something that only works for Israel and something that only works for the rich. It's just it's untenable, and we will have to eat the rich to get that done, unfortunately.
Mm.
Yeah, but enough about my doomer shit. We could talk about some other doomer shit if you'd like.
Honestly, I was thinking because like we both don't have strong opinions on this one. I guess
Yeah,
I thought you
yeah.
had stronger opinions on it, so I put it on here. Um,
No, I mean, I think that me personally, I will talk a little bit about it, I guess, because I was a fan of this person. So with the situation that recently came to light with David, I will say that I was a fan of David. I wanted to go to Bonnaroo because I really liked Romantic Homicide. I liked those songs, not knowing what was happening behind the scenes. Obviously nobody knew until very recently. I think even if David didn't kill Celeste, he definitely is a pedophile at the very least. I think that is a hugely problematic age gap, and any situation with like that is just like a failure from both the parents and law enforcement. Law enforcement should have known this child was missing, and they should have understood her connections and like been able to investigate that. But we don't give resources to these people. Instead, we want to shove $100 million up ICE's ass for them to go arrest any brown person now at this point. But I think it's also a big thing with streamers. Like I see a lot of people talking about like Jason the Ween having something to do with it because he was friends with David. Like I don't see streamers who are like have musician friends and they like come on the stream as guests as like real friends. These are like professional acquaintances more than anything, right? If these people are really only hanging out on stream. So like there's this parasocial element that like wants your streamer or wants your content creator to be perfect and to never be associated with any controversy, but that's just unrealistic in this day and age when we have so many bad actors. And that is what David was at the end of the day. He was just a bad actor. And something that I think Cutie Cinderella said it was, and she didn't even say it on stream. She said it off stream to somebody else, but it was you should realize that people that you think are normal now may turn out to be freaks in the future. So like that, especially in the streaming world and like the music industry, like this couldn't be more true. It's just like people that you view as normal will turn into like the craziest freaks ever. But that's my take on the David situation, and that's really all I have to say about that. All this to say is like we just wanted to touch on this to make sure that we are providing light to these subjects, right? If we don't talk about it, if mainstream media doesn't talk about it, if these perspectives aren't allowed to be provided through the mainstream media, at that point you must start relying on independent outlets and independent people like Z and I, you know? While we may lean left, we have no special interest. We get 2 views a video, and every view is our own that we came to via our own conclusions. And this is something that I would suggest that you all do as well. Make sure to look at all of your sources. Make sure to understand that, you know, the left can be biased with their sources. The right is absolutely biased in their sources. And there is never going to be a one-stop shop for finding truthful information that has empathetic understanding of, you know, the world and just people in general. So what I would say to that is make sure that you maintain empathy in your lives. I think that people who would say that empathy doesn't exist are people who have no love in their life, it feels like. People who have this like air of sociopathy or psychopathy that don't understand that empathy will always exist, and they have always existed, but they have never been louder than right now. So always fight back, always speak out, and make sure you always stand on fucking business. Anything to say, Z?
Oh, that's it.
Thanks for tuning in to Brunch, dude.
Yeah, I was like, hopefully we don't have to do a ton more of these.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Thank you guys for tuning in to Brunch. Have a good rest of your day. Peace.